It's funny. We were in the car the other day, Case, and David was going to maybe go to Las Vegas. And at the last minute, his friend called and was like, hey, I got a private jet. And David was like, oh, okay, let's go. So he calls Natalie and he's like, good news. We don't have to fly, regular. We're going to go on a private jet. And Natalie just goes, oh, okay, great. And I just never heard anyone so not excited about
so unenthused about a private jet.
Like, what are we doing here?
Well, it wasn't that. It was just the fact that I knew that.
Now you have to go to Vegas.
Now I have to go to Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
It was like now that there's no excuse.
Oh.
You can't pass up a private
And the
jet.
cherry on the cake was that we were going to Vegas at 11 and leaving at 3 a.m. So we were there for literally 2 hours.
Bro, that's so fucking... Our friend Dylan Francis is a DJ, and sometimes he invites us to his shows, and so his private jet took off at 11. And the crazy thing about private jet is you can literally go, hey, I have extra room, you want to come? And it's so easy to board a private jet.
Yeah.
You don't need an ID.
You can get there 5 minutes late.
Yeah,
and the plane will wait for you.
And the plane will wait for you. No, but it's interesting because his job is so bizarre because he lands in Vegas at like 11:45 at night, like midnight, and he goes on at 1 a.m. and he DJs till 3 a.m. and then at 3:45 he's back on the flight and he's home at 5 a.m. So at a time when you're probably going to bed at 10, Dylan is packing to get on his flight,
just going to work,
and he'll be back before you wake up. Like that's crazy. Like that's such an odd
what
job.
What about the fact that his commute is in a Gulf Stream?
Yeah, it's fucking
madness.
sick. Yeah, Casey got a private jet the other day because there was a scheduling conflict and he needed to get one. And he got the entire private jet to himself, and there was no one to fly with him. So he asked my high school teacher, and he was like, you want to come to LA with me? I have like 9 seats left on this jet. And my high school teacher was like, okay, I guess, yeah, I'll call off work. And which is really funny. So my high school teacher spent a week in LA because Casey had room on his private jet.
Yeah, I mean, the whole story is that I had a work thing in LA that I had to make it back for. And my fee for the work thing was the same exact price as the private jet. So I made no money, but I fulfilled all my obligations. And I got to give your high school teacher a ride.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to you with like work or like I showed up in Dubai, they had this for me, this happened, and then they gave me $100,000 headphones. You know
I mean, the craziest thing, like I've always been really obsessed with flying on airplanes. Like my dream when I was a little kid was to someday fly in first class.
Yeah.
And like my financial goal in life, I have one singular financial goal in life. And that's to never have to fly coach again. And I'm not there yet. And I don't know what that looks like or what it means. But like ever since I was a kid, I've always been obsessed with planes. And like the idea of first class just seems so wild.
Yeah.
And I was just in the Middle East. And I was there with Etihad, which is like one of those fancy Middle Eastern airlines. And they flew me back. And they have one seat on their gigantic plane, like the double-decker A380. And that seat is called the Residence. And this seat, no shit, like dead ass, the seat is 3 rooms. You have a living room with 2 couches in it. You have a hallway that takes you to your bedroom.
Wow.
And the bedroom has like a bed in it that 2 people could comfortably sleep in. You could definitely, if you're there with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you could definitely sleep with someone in there. There's a lock on the door. There's no way anyone could see in. And then the third room is a private bathroom. You don't share your bathroom with anyone on the plane. You have your own bathroom. In that bathroom,
how many people fly on this plane at once?
Like 400 or whatever, but there's only one of these. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see.
So
what
for
you're
everybody
saying.
else in the plane, it's regular. And then for one person.
And you were in the seat.
I had it for one way. The other way I like.
How many hours was the trip?
14 and a half.
There's there's hundreds of people sitting in middle seat.
And I'm the same, just beneath me. And the shitty thing is, there's like a dozen of them could have come up into my room and hung out with me. And it would have been way more comfortable. I had a shower with 10 minutes of running hot water with a timer on it, so I know when I'm running out. I split it up into 3 different showers. Because I took a shower before my nap, after my nap, and then before I landed. They gave me a bathrobe.
Oh
That's
my God.
fucking
They
crazy.
gave me a menu that
What's
was
the price on that?
So I looked it up when I got back.
Yeah.
And it was like $26,000 for one way.
Wow. Just to add to the whole wealth thing, there's a thing called the black card. Basically, you have to be invited. What happens? You have to be invited to have this card, and it's like a titanium card. It's like pretty...
Yeah, it's like the black card that Jay-Z raps about. I remember the first time I saw one.
Yeah.
I was like 25 years old, and I was in New York City, and I was having dinner with some fancy people. And like, I just saw it like land on the table, and I was like, I didn't even know they were real. I thought they were like unicorns, leprechauns, in the Amex black card. And then like I saw it and I was like really embarrassed. And like I asked my friend, I was like, can I ask him if I can touch that? And it's like this heavy weapon.
Yeah, it's very
of a credit
heavy.
card.
Yeah.
And there's no way to like apply for it or get it.
Yeah, and you were lucky to get invited to to have one, and how did it, like, what was the packaging it came in when it arrived at your door?
The only reason why I have one is a friend of mine's like friends with the head of Amex and like hooked it up for me.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay, but when it comes in a box. It's enormous, like huge.
How big?
You know, it's probably like, it's like 2 shoe boxes. is the
Wow.
size
For a credit card.
for a credit card. And then a human being delivers it to you. My first one, a human delivered it.
All you need to launch a culinary empire. A Squarespace website where you can brag about how you never went to culinary school. A divisive signature ingredient. Tools you claim everyone has in their kitchen.
They don't.
And an email newsletter to share your best recipes until you land that book deal.
Welcome to the Cheese Show. And when cheese puts on a performance like this, you might get to the crust and think, it's over. But no. Let's hear it for the Encore Cheese. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuff.
He was like, Mr. Neistat, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm here with your Centurion card. And I was like, are you a courier? And he's like, I work for American Express. And I was like, head
We're gonna need a sample of your blood.
Yeah.
And what are the perks with it? You were listing some perks off.
There's some pretty silly perks, but if you travel a lot, it's like you can definitely get benefits. But it's like when you check into a hotel, they immediately give you like one of the best rooms they have, even if you pay for
They
it
upgrade
cheaper.
you.
Immediately, like 2 upgrades, 2 levels of upgrade. Like guarantee you, instead of having to check out at 11 a.m., like check out at 4 p.m. So you get like an extra half day in your hotel room.
That's fucked.
With hotel or with airplanes, like if you buy one business class ticket, you get one for free.
What?
Isn't there an Amex card too where it's like I want an AK-47 and a bucket of chicken wings, and they'll bring it like
you
right
just
now.
call the concierge. And they'll
Is
do
that the
it.
black card?
Same thing.
And they'll bring it to your hotel room?
Yeah, whatever you need. They'll do anything for you. Like it also comes with something called helicopter. This is so silly. Helicopter evacuation insurance. So if you're in a foreign country or somewhere where you can't get good medical care, they'll just send a helicopter in to pick you up and fly you to a near city where you can get the medical care you need. And that's like a free. That's like,
Hey guys, my name's Jeff. Big fan of the podcast.
Thank you.
You guys are talking about the black card, and one time I was actually, this is prior to the Vlog Squad days, I was at a party. I was going into a club in Vegas. You know how the pool parties, they get just mobbed. So
Yeah.
it was really hard to get into, and this guy, he dropped his black card on the floor, like in front of the hostess, because you couldn't even get their attention to get like a table reservation. And this guy just drops it out, and he's like, whoops, and you just saw the black card fall on the floor. And then it worked. His plan worked. He got everybody's attention, and they got him in.
From the black card, the power of the black card.
Just from flinging it on the floor and going, whoops.
Because you have to, like, to get the black card, other than, you know somebody, but you have to be spending, like, what is like $1 million a year?
it's something insane. What is it, Dima?
So I looked it up. So you have to have an Amex card for a year. You have to spend $400,000 to $650,000, just in general,
My ex-wife can apply for it.
Yeah.
and you have to have $1 million income grossly.
How many Instagram followers?
It says you need 15,000.
I'm good.
I actually have a VIP card at one of my banks that I go to, and I get $1 off every product that has lasagna in it.
Oh, it's kind of like an Amex Black,
Yeah, it's similar.
but just for pasta.
No, just anything that has lasagna. Not all pasta, only lasagna.
Oh, Dima, this isn't time to brag.
Yeah, but I just wanted to feel like I was part of the group.
I would bet that if we could go into the underbelly of Amex, that I'm the poorest person. to
Yeah,
have
Casey
a
told me
black
about
card.
Amex, and he called. I got so jealous. I'm like, Casey, call him right now. Call that number on the back of your phone and see if I can get it. And they're like, we don't know if we can do this, sir.
They just-
And Casey was hyping me up. Casey
I was like, dude, it's a big deal. His
Casey
videos
was like,
are really funny.
Casey was like, I'm sitting next to one of the most popular humans on the face of the earth. Fucking. This is the most interesting thing about YouTubers is I say this all the time, they're the most relevant, irrelevant people in the world.
That's true.
There's not a person or group of people that are so loved by so many people, but also completely unknown to others.
Nope, that's
Like
exactly right.
No one has a stronger love for a person than people that watch YouTubers, but then the rest of the world's kind of just like confused about them.
Like that time in Miami when we were trying to get in the club. And I told this guy was like, this party's been here 15 years. Puff Daddy comes here. And I was
This world is not yet ready for all that you will do.
I see glimpses of the future.
I want to find out everything.
Like, well, this is David Dobrik. I showed his Instagram. I was like, look, verified 10
Fucking
million.
Jeff did that. I got so fucking
I was embarrassed
embarrassed.
of it, but it's a different town. It's not LA. It's like, sometimes
Dude,
you have
when
to show
Jeff
these
did
things.
that, I literally grabbed Natalie by the arm and I go, did he just fucking do what I think he did?
Okay, but I only did it because he told me Puff Daddy. Now, Puff Daddy, huge star, but, you guys, P. Diddy, you may know him as, but you look at his Instagram, he's only getting maybe, I know I hate to have to go into the likes.
No, listen.
But-
I didn't hear him saying this. I didn't hear him like hyping me up. All I saw was I'm like, okay, Jeff's talking to the bouncer. Maybe he'll handle it because he's from Miami, so maybe he'll talk to him.
I could have showed my own Instagram. I'm doing pretty okay, but he said P. Diddy, and he compared him to you, and P. Diddy is not as relevant as you right now. Nowhere near. He
Sure.
ran the fucking marathon, and he did all that stuff a while ago, but that's the last stuff he really did. He's in his 50s now.
But it's just a completely different thing. Me and P. Diddy are completely different people. Like
You're right. He would have paid for the table.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have tried to sneak in. on
We're
his
over there
Instagram.
trying to just fucking sneak in with,
And he has a black
granted-
card. He could have used that.
Granted, when we go into clubs, we roll 30 guys deep, like at least.
Yeah, he
like
looks
a lot of dudes.
it's 30
And
dudes
me.
and Natalie and Jason.
30 dudes and Natalie.
I'm the hard sell.
Yeah.
Natalie gets in no problem.
I got so scared when Jeff whipped out his Instagram. I was like, he's fucking. Remember, Jason, you were there, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that guy's reckless. He's reckless. And Jeff's like, Jason was like, yeah, I mean, that's how Jeff is sometimes. Like, he's still got the Miami in him. And I was like, I was so terrified. Like, I hate when I'm standing like at a party and I can't get in. And it's so crazy because you can tell how much people love YouTubers because I'll be standing outside a party. One kid will walk up to me and be like, you can't get in? Are you fucking kidding me? You can't get into this party? What? Do they not know who you fucking are? And I literally have to go. I go, dude, please come down. Like you're the only one here that feels like this. Like I promise you. And then you'll always have that guy like be like, dude, no worries, I got you. And he'll walk up to the bouncer and he'll be like, that guy right there. Do you know who he is? The bouncer will look at me and he'll go, no. And then the guy will be like, that's David Dobrik. He's one of the biggest YouTubers right now. And the bouncer will be like, I don't give a fuck. and then
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, and then I'm never allowed wherever we are. That is like the scariest moment. And every time we go to a party and someone like starts screaming like, "Oh, it's David Dobrik," I have to go, please, be quiet. You're gonna ruin my chances of getting in. Like you just like, let me just try to just sneak in behind somebody because it's so tricky.
In fairness, the reality of what we're all like, or you guys are all like, it's like 8 bros standing outside. We're the worst dressed anywhere. All I think is that strip club we were at in Miami where it's like filled with the most beautiful dancers, like dudes all wearing suits. And then there's 8 of us surrounded by a guy who has no socks on and he's showing us his 6 toes.
We are the worst dressed.
The
That's for
most
sure.
exciting thing in that club were the 6 toes. We're just staring at some dude's fucking foot.